why do you dislike Statham so much? What is your problem with him?
I don't dislike him. He's just not Arnie. He's not Sly. He's just like a dude.
I can't think of anything that's like super standout that jumps out at me as like, oh man, that's a great Jason Statham movie.
Maybe it's actually not about the Stathams and Momoas and Cenas and Rocks of the world. Like they all seem to have a rock solid work ethic. They put their all into it, and maybe it's just the movies aren't really my thing, and therefore I just haven't really given a shit about the generation, you know?
Welcome to the show, folks. This week we're talking about the action movie The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham and a bunch of other people. The girl from Umbrella Academy, who I did not like. And let's jump into it. High level.
Yeah, Benny was chatting about this one last week as an action romp, and that it was.
Indeed.
This was the stupidest, most fun movie I've watched in a while, and it was perfectly framed as just an action romp. It was really fun, and I was cracking up many a time.
Mm-hmm.
I love how silly it was. It was just the weirdest fucking movie. I don't know. It feels like a unbearable weight of massive talent piss take kind of thing, but it wasn't at all. At the same, I don't even know, but it was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I love movies like this. I love it. It's freaking great, dude. Great action, great freaking revenge action story. It was cool, man. I love secret little societies, little revenge. Statham. I don't have a problem with Statham like you guys said you do. He doesn't bother me. He's, Mr. Sexy British ass kicker, and I don't know, he kicked a lot of sexy British ass. It was great. It's freaking great. I loved it.
Yeah, this is a stupid action stupid action movie. It's totally aware that it's a stupid action movie, and it leans into it, including fucking bee puns and shit. Like, it's just really dumb, but it works well because it's kind of funny, and I don't know. It's just like there's really well shot action in it.
Yeah,
I'm not the biggest fan of Statham, but I liked him here. Like, he's just doing what he does best, which is kicking ass. And not only that, you've got some great despicable fucking baddies that, you just really just get it so bad. So yeah, it's just, it's an entertaining little romp. Classic? I don't know, but I definitely had a good time watching it.
I think you stumbled upon my thinking about Statham crystallized with your slip of the tongue with action figure. Like he actually just looks like a plastic action figure that's kind of like walking across the street. Like he just like stands there with his arms at his side, like scowling so often, and I just, he's kind of like a posable action figure of a human. And I'm not even necessarily saying that as an insult. I just, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's such a funny dude. He just stands there, man. Like in Snatch and Lock, Stock, he just always had a trench, and he would always just be like being sassy with his trench coat on. And in this one, he's got his fucking Carhartt jacket on and his trucker hat and his cans of gasoline, Like it was, I don't know. It was really fun and really funny, dude.
There's something about that particular like outfit,
It was great.
The first incarnation when he goes after the place that's like right down the road, apparently, with the Carhartt and the fucking hat. Yeah, it's very action.
So good. I love it. And I don't know. It's like it's a John Wick movie.
Yeah,
where like instead of his dog getting killed, like his childhood mom Claire Huxtable gets.
Dude, it's
killed.
Not his childhood mom. First of all.
I know it's not, but like Claire Huxtable was our childhood mom, and so like I'm just like I'm bringing Claire Huxtable into it,
tugging at the old heartstrings.
But it was like Mark Rober meets John Wick, with the like scam stuff. Like I don't know, it was really I was fucking cracking up, dude.
Yeah, I forget where I saw it, but somebody commented somewhere. It was like, this is like we have John Wick at home.
It's like a Huffy bicycle of John Wick or something.
Yeah, more or less.
I love it.
It's like, it's not that we have that at home. It's that we have like the knockoff that's not as good as that at home.
You got the lame version at home. Yeah.
You got the Army Pete, right? Not the G.I. Joe.
Not G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. That's funny. Why do you dislike Statham so much? What is your problem with him?
I don't dislike Statham. I don't know. He's not. I don't know. I don't dislike him. He's just not Arnie. He's not Sly. He's just like a dude that can punch people. Like he's not Liam Neeson.
No.
He's not Keanu. He's not Patrick Swayze. You know what I mean? He's just like a fucking guy they found that had a Cockney accent. Maybe that's the thing is like, I have nothing against Statham. I got nothing against The Rock. I've got nothing against Cena. But none of them are Arnie and none of them are Sly. And it's just like a different generation of action
agreed.
hero. And like, I don't have dislike for that generation. It's a different generation and I prefer.
It's our No, it's our generation. That's what it is. Arnold and Sly they're not our generation. And
Yeah, and maybe
that
that's
is
it. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything there, but like, I got nothing against the guy. I don't give a shit. Like, he seems like a perfectly reasonable guy.
I mean, I don't like go mental over his movies, but like I do like I don't ever object when like in the Italian Job, you know, like he was good in the Italian Job, but he's always the same. Like he's always Statham in that kind of like action.
So is Arnie, and
exactly
so is Sly,
in that
generally
same
speaking.
kind of action star way. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like a Shakespearean actor. You know what I mean? Like I think Guy Ritchie found him. It seems like Guy Ritchie found him, was like, "Hey man, you're cool. You want to be in this movie?" And then we got Lock, Stock, and then we got Snatch, and then, you know, he went on to do other stuff, and like good for him, man. You know, and he's done well, and he's made some money, and that's great. And like, there's nothing, I don't find anything particularly offensive about him, but I think you're right. He's just kind of, I never really thought about this before, but he's kind of there, you know? He does have a lot of charisma and charm when he wants to, you know, and if the part calls for it. And I like that. And he's got this kind of, you know, he's got this kind of cool English badass thing that I think was lacking from the lineup of like bruisers and action heroes for a long time. So I don't know. There's that.
Yeah.
You know, and he can deliver a serious ass whooping as he does in this movie, man. So there's that too.
He does great action. I can't take that away from him.
No, you really can't, man. The Transporter was pretty damn tight, dude. The second one wasn't bad either, you know. I can't think of anything that's like super standout that jumps out at me as like, oh man, that's a great Jason Statham movie. Like there aren't any real movies like that. That's for sure.
And maybe that's it. Maybe it's actually not about the Stathams and Momoas and Cenas and Rocks of the world as people. Like they all seem to have a rock solid work ethic, and you know the stuff that I admire about like a Keanu Reeves or even a Tom Cruise is like they're all into it, and maybe it's just the movies aren't really my thing, and therefore I just haven't really given a shit about the generation, you know.
Sure,
kind of what I was gonna say, and I don't think they always use him particularly well. Like I like him here. I like him subtle, you know. Sometimes like they got him like delivering, you know, I don't know, like dialogue that's just a little too much, you know. At least in my opinion, with that British tough guy thing, and it just comes off sort of cartoonish or I don't know, like and not that there's anything wrong with cartoonish, just sometimes he's and maybe it's like it's less him and more the movies, you know. But I think when he's just kicking ass and he's being subtle about the quips and stuff, it comes off better than.
Yes, I agree with what you just said. I think that's a pretty fair summation, and I think that while that is true, I think he's also gotten better at doing dialogue. But I agree with you that I think he's been improperly used in the past. You know what I mean? And I think like.
And he was typecast a bit with the Cockney shit.
Well, he's definitely typecast, but I think when they get him in and they hand him the script and like, okay, you're going to play this part, they really need to take his lines and his dialogue and tailor it more to him, because he's not like a classically trained actor who's going to take a look at the part and be like, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm just blah, 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 right? You know what I mean? So I think tailoring it to him, I think is probably smart. Like, again, he's been sort of misused in the wrong way, you know, whatever. I don't know. I feel like he kind of slides right into this one pretty nicely.
I mean, like, it's like Benny was saying with the puns and shit, like, you just can't take this too seriously. And as a result, it's more enjoyable, you know? Like, as a result, any silly lines are good instead of bad. As a result, any over Stathamisms are a positive instead of a negative. Like, I think all of it adds up to just being clearly intended to be fun as opposed to anything else. And
Yes, and I think my reaction to the film was different than yours. Like I didn't find it funny. None of it made me laugh. Like to me, this movie is like a
it's got to a little bit though.
It didn't. It's just more like a Constantine or like a National Treasure. It's like a fantasy movie. You know what I mean? And it's like it's cool. Like this is the kind of thing I would have loved to have seen as a kid. It's like, oh, there's this cool secret society, and they keep everything dialed in and in line, and you got like
everything in their beehives,
whatever. And it's like they got you got your supervillain dude and Josh Hutcherson, and it was cool. I like that stuff, man. I think it's cool. That's what makes it fun. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's cool and great action, dude. You can't take that away from this movie. You know what I mean? And some great badassery. You know, it's like this is the scenario where, you know, some guy's like, they killed my best friend. Now I'm going to go kill everybody. And he actually does it all the way up to the president, man. You know what I mean? And it's like
fucking bananas, dude.
It is bananas, but it's so fun and it's so cool. And it's like at some point in everybody's life, you wished you could do that, man. And I think that's what's fun and cool about this movie for me.
Yeah. I think, you know, to refine my saying that it's funny, on the one hand, you've got like cheesy lines and cheesy puns, and like I think it's reasonable to say that this poking fun at itself a bit. And like I didn't particularly find that funny. I found it charming because it was, you know, fun. But the bits that I found funny were like the hyper-violent stuff, you know, like
what?
Fucking ratchet strapping the dude and then like driving the truck off the bridge, or like the stapler to the forehead, dude. Like I was fucking losing it.
That was great.
It was like the older brother thing with the stapler. He's like, I'm just, you know, you're making me hit you with the stapler. You could stop, you know, I could stop it.
I like when he very matter-of-factly grabs the first guy, the connected guy's hand, and just, you know, kind of goes zoom, right through the bandsaw, chops off all his fingers, and keeps doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so funny, dude.
No doubt.
That was what I was talking about with the humor,
and rightly so. I mean, I don't know. It's just there's nothing like. There's also I like movies where, you know, you get a bunch of mouthy jerks, like that guy in the first call center. You know, and it's like. You're such a tool, dude. It would be so great to see you get whatever you got coming to you, and then that very thing happens in the very next frame, dude. And he gets
satisfying.
it, and it is satisfying, and he gets it with extreme prejudice. You know what I mean? It's like even going back to Felicia Rashad, like, you know, when you see Claire Huxtable and she's like going through the computer, dude, and you're just like, and she's so nice and she's so great. I mean, she's Claire Huxtable, dude. And then she gets all of her money wiped out, dude, and it's like, you know, and then he's like, well, now it's time for everybody to die.
It's pretty good.
It's fucking great, dude.
It is just really stupid.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I mean, John Wick's dog getting killed is pretty fucking stupid.
Well, that's
like,
stupid too. I mean, it's the same, but that's the same thing, same idea. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's stupid. That's
like
a
it's a bad
thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's stupid. It's stupid, and that's what makes it great. Like it's not.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not supposed to take this movie. Doesn't take itself seriously. So I don't. You know.
Yeah.
Not,
it's like Renfield or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I mean, just thinking about John Wick for a millisecond, like it is just like John Wick, because John Wick loses his dog and that's what starts the entire 4-movie killing spree. You know what I mean? And I mean, literally, that's what it is. But this movie does pretty much the exact same thing. It's actually kind of a carbon copy of John Wick, now that I'm thinking about it, because you know, in John Wick we had like this whole, you know, as we went into the second film and then the subsequent movies, we find out that there's this whole secret world and all this lore about all of these people and the high table and all of this bullshit, right? And in this movie, it's kind of the same thing. There's what turns out that he's the ex-beekeeper, and the beekeepers are the people that keep the freaking equilibrium in the country or whatever, dude. And so it really is exactly like John Wick, dude. It's exactly like John Wick, dude. It's the same exact formula, man.
But it was like not anywhere near as attempting to like flesh things out as John Wick. Something about the beekeeper thing to me was really funny, where it was just like, I'm a beekeeper. And everyone kind of is like, you're a what? He keeps bees. He likes honey. And then like the FBI guy's like, did you say beekeeper? Let's stick to what we know. And then the ex-CIA guy's like, beekeeper, you're fucked, you know? And then it's like, you're fucked. And then like the other beekeeper, fucking Harley Quinn, comes in with a chain gun and gets put down in like five seconds.
I was like,
and then they're like, beekeepers are out.
I thought it should have taken longer for her to die. Well, I mean, look, if the beekeepers are so badass, right? And it's Jeremy Irons, dude, okay? Jeremy Irons, British, classically trained, Shakespearean trained actor is in this movie. And I still almost can't believe it, dude. But I love how into it he was. And, you know, when he's telling all of those SEAL Team 6 Navy guys, the Delta guys, whatever, he was like, you know, if the beekeeper, if the beekeeper was here, you'd all be dead already.
He's like, you're all a bunch of pussies. Like, oh, okay. But that's it. They're just like, he's a beekeeper. I don't even know. Like, it was funny. And this is just like, yeah, they're these guys. They kill everyone and protect the hive.
Well, I mean,
like,
they explained enough of it, you know what I mean, for it to be understood. Yeah. It wasn't just like, you know, everybody's running around going, what the hell is a beekeeper? Oh, you know, I mean, it was funny how he kept actual bees. So there was like all that confusion about that part, you know, kind of. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, I mean,
throws jars of honey as weapons. Like, come on, that was pretty good.
That was awesome, dude. But there was, so there was enough lore for it to be, you know, explained. It wasn't like anybody was sitting there going, what in the hell is going on here? You know what I mean? Like one thing that I've been thinking about like the last year for sure is like when we watch these movies, a lot of them, like, what would the 10-year-old me have thought of this movie? You know what I mean? Like, what would a younger version of myself, how would have thought of this movie? You know what I mean?
I would have loved it. Yeah.
So I try to look at it through that lens as well, and then sometimes try to combine like my adult view and that view. You know what I mean? And land in I don't know, what I think would be a more appropriate space. Maybe, I don't know.
And I think that's a good lens for sure. Like,
right?
To my bitching about my own taking things too seriously thing over the last couple dozen movies, like it's a stupid perspective to have. It's like we're not fucking inside the actor's fucking studio here. It's like just enjoy a movie for what it is, or don't watch it. Like, who gives a fuck?
Exactly, man. Like that's how I felt when we were talking about National Treasure. You know what I mean? You guys were like, "Oh, this is so unbelievable." I was like, "It's supposed to be."
Yeah, I mean, National Treasure like is very much like this in the sense that it's
definitely, dude, it's
ridiculous.
It's probably
kind
more
of
like,
on purpose. But I think this was more on purpose than that was.
I feel like those two movies are closer than this and John Wick, sort of. There's like a weird love triangle of movies going on here that's kind of interesting and odd.
I guess.
Maybe.
I just don't see a world where at any point anyone making this movie was taking it too seriously.
No way.
Where I would say like maybe National Treasure has a little bit more of taking itself seriously, but I mean, whatever. We already talked about that one, so
maybe in the sense of historical fact, maybe, but I don't think so, man. I mean, again, that's a lot like this. It's like a fun romp with like some weird lore kind of backstory, you know, secret treasure. I mean, you know, but this one, same sort of thing. Like I don't know what taking this movie seriously would even mean, like.
Well, I think the director, not the director, sorry, the writer has a movie that I think is that, which is Equilibrium with gun kata and Batman. You know, like it is another vehicle for action, and it takes itself seriously, and it's fucking cheesy as hell. I like it. It's a really, really ridiculous movie, but I think that is a version of this movie that takes itself more seriously. Like, I think it was trying to be more serious while also being a vehicle for action. Like, all these movies generally are vehicles for action. You know, John Wick, clearly. You could say the same about National Treasure, a different type of action. It's not punch 'em ups. It's like swashbuckly action, but like they're all vehicles for action movies, and this one is taking itself least seriously, and it's delightful as a result. God damn it, that's a death.
That is a death, actually. You know what? I think I'm just looking up this guy Kurt Wimmer, and like Equilibrium, I've heard really good things about, but like,
have you not seen that? That's like the most Kevin Moeller fucking movie.
Is it really?
It's dude. Like this,
I know.
I'm surprised you aren't like, hang on, and you roll up your sleeve, and there's like a gun kata tattoo on your fucking shoulder, dude. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you must have seen that one, Heegs.
I don't think I did.
Really? Dude, we have to do that now. Like, that is now a thing. It's really ridiculous. I can't even remember it. I used to like watch it half drunk with Sam King, like on repeat.
Oh, no, yeah, I've seen that.
And I don't even remember the movie other than it's like in a distant future where people only beat each other up with guns.
Gun
fu.
Gun fu. In a world where gun fu is the only currency.
What the hell are they called?
I don't even remember, dude.
Tetragrammaton?
Yeah, the tetrahedrons, is that what you said?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like there's like some name.
Yeah. The clerics, the gun clerics or something.
No, that was it. Yeah, I think that's it. The clerics. I remember this movie.
It's so dumb.
No, well, yeah, but it was like the grammaton.
Yeah, grammaton clerics. That's what it is. Yeah. And like it's got fucking Sean Bean and Christian Bale in it, dude. Like, it should be a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It should not be a Christian Bale movie, you know? Like, I don't know. It's so ridiculous. This movie is also ridiculous, but this movie knows it's ridiculous, whereas that movie I don't think kind of does.
No, it was totally trying to be a thing.
Yeah, it was like kind of trying to Matrix out a bit or something.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
no, yeah. Because like this could have been a Nick Cage movie, man. Like, I don't know. It's just, there's something about it.
Yeah, but you need somebody that's like really physically capable. And quite honestly, like Statham, even if you were making a list, Statham would be at the top because he's really good like that, man. You know, he's like,
oh yeah, Statham would out physicalities Nick Cage in the 90s. Like
100%.
Even Nick Cage in his prime isn't as physical as you need to be here. But
yeah, and you know, like
no, I mean Cage isn't as physical as he needed to be, whereas Statham is. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And he's also not like a monster like Cena and The Rock, you know, or Arnold or Sly. You know, he's like kind of like a leaner dude, you know. So I don't know. I think he fits in pretty damn good here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, thumbs up all around. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
They killed my friend, and now I'm gonna kill everyone.
He wasn't even that though. It was like an elder abuse kind of infomercial, you know.
What do you mean?
Don't take advantage of old people.
Oh, that was
great,
nice
to me. Like, I loved it.
It was sort of it's kind of a revenge story for like, you know, or it's like a gratifying revenge story for everybody that's ever been ripped off too. Like,
yeah, everyone's fucking mom or dad who got scammed, and
even anybody who's like been the subject of an attempted scam, you know, like everybody who's answered that phone call, you know.
I would even broaden it to like anybody that's gotten ripped off in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And you were like just feeling the burn so hard.
Yeah, like I wish I could
wanting that you could do something, but you couldn't do something. So that was what kind of immediately jumped out at me. You know what I mean? It was like as soon as, you know, he started down the path with the gas cans, I was like, this is like for everybody that's ever been ripped off, like even in the most minor way. And I think that's really what is like the great part of this movie, man.
Yeah. It's a daydream. It is like the daydream that you
Totally.
have after
It's
you get ripped off. You're like,
dude,
if I
yes.
saw this guy, I would fucking kill him, and I would kill his mom, and I would kill his boss. And you're like, okay, guy.
Totally.
This is the movie equivalent of coming up with the best comeback 7 days after the guy took your fucking lunch money.
Yes, it is definitely that.
And he's
100%.
he's such an action figure, Benny. I love that you Freudian slipped that, because like, I love when he walks into the thing in the beginning and he's like, you all should be ashamed of yourselves.
I love that, dude.
Repeat after me. They're all like, fuck you, boomer. And then he just absolutely fucking annihilates that one random dude on the phone. And they're all like, oh.
Yeah. It kind of had like
God.
it kind of had a taste of Gran Torino in that respect, you know, like
the
older dude, you
Yeah.
know, like
Bit
I
of
haven't
Taken,
seen
bit of Gran
all
Torino,
of, yeah, I
bit of
haven't
Wick.
seen all of that, but like Gran Torino is like a good movie, you know what I mean?
That
Like,
is a good flick, yeah.
It's a Clint Eastwood movie, you know what I mean? In the sense that he directed it as well, so
Yeah.
you know, it kind of for a little bit had that vibe there, you know, it's cool. I mean, Statham's only like 55; he's not like that old.
Yeah.
Or maybe that is.
I mean, hey, whatever. Can we talk about the scammer stuff and the
Whatever.
I
Yeah,
think that
go
would
for
be a useful place to kind of see where it goes. I love that the movie, to what we talked about a second ago, I love that the movie's about dickhead scammers. And have you guys
Totally.
seen any of the Mark Rober scammer stuff? Like the glitter bomb shit, I imagine you're familiar with. The porch pirate stuff.
Porch pirate? What do you mean? Just people stealing shit off your porches?
So like there's this dude, Mark Rober, he's a big YouTuber. He's kind of like a engineering educational YouTuber. You'd recognize him probably. He's
Sure.
like, I made the world's largest fucking Nerf gun or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, right.
And he's ex-NASA or something. And he's like he's a good YouTuber. And 4 years ago, maybe, he made a glitter bomb package with like tracking in it to fuck with porch pirates. And so like they put these packages around and then porch pirates would steal them, and then it would like video record them having glitter bomb go off in their house because fuck those guys for stealing stuff, and it turned into this kind of viral thing.
Nice.
So like cool. Kind of vigilante-ish.
I love
And then it turned into like the first one was just glitter bombs, and then the second year he did it, it was like glitter bombs and cameras and fart spray, and the third one was like, you know, so it's an entertaining watch.
Fart
And then like maybe like really skunk spray kind of stuff. Like just like filling the person's car with fucking skunk spray or house and just fucking with porch pirates, which is like, I can get behind that.
No. I remember buying fart spray at various different novelty shops back when those were a thing. And, you know, I never thought they were particularly good. I was just wondering if fart spray technology had
Well, I don't know if it was
changed in the
like
last
novelty
20
shop
years.
fart spray. I think it was like go online and get like, it's kind of like, you know, there were laser pointers, then there was like take down a fucking airplane green laser pointers. It's that equivalent fart spray, I think, where it's like you go online to the fucking farts.com and get like the legit shit, you know?
Fartspray.com.
Exactly.
Probably exists.
If it doesn't exist, it needs to exist.
It should exist.
And so he did
right?
all that porch pirate shit, and then a couple years in, he did a huge collaboration with some other YouTubers who I don't know, that was like, we're gonna figure out who these fucking scammers are, and we're gonna fuck with them. And they ended up, it's a worth watching. It's a couple of videos where like they track down these scammers into a place in India, and then they fucking hack into these guys' buildings and are like watching them live on camera and fucking with these scammers, and like
What?
it's equally entertaining and vigilante-ish.
But better because it's actually real, yeah.
Yeah. And like this movie really reminds me of that, where it's just like these guys are taking it upon themselves to strike back, you know, against this kind of hydra where, you know, you shut the office down and then another one opens up down the road and it's just these scamming fucks.
Totally.
So I just assumed everyone was familiar with the Rober stuff just because of how much YouTube pushes it, but
Not even at all, no.
worth checking out. Like there's a couple of 20-minute videos that are entertaining. So just that subtle vigilantism is great.
Yeah.
And this is the daydream of it, you know. You know, all of the scammy shit aside, I love that it's like a legit scam where this guy is a kind of a Batman villain of a Wolf of Wall Street scammer, and then he gets his comeuppance. So like, there's a lot to the scam element that I like here.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And like my my in-laws have gotten scammed a couple times. Like,
Really?
I got a call one day and they were like, I just installed this antivirus thing on my computer and
Oh my God.
this guy on the phone called me and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'll get in the car. I went over there and nuked his fucking computer and we changed all of his you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then that was a couple years ago. And then like 6 months ago, he got ripped off on Facebook Marketplace for like 6 G's for a tractor
What?
that didn't exist, you know? So like, it happens a lot. So it's even more like, fuck you about this
Yeah.
particular flick. Like I think the anger is real here, you know, just how
Well,
close
definitely. So that
many of
really
us get to that kind of stuff. Because we're savvy, but a lot of people aren't.
No, 100%. I mean, but I would think that even hits closer to home for you. You know what I mean? Having sort of directly dealt with that, you know? Like I never saw that guy that you just mentioned. And I mean, you know, I don't know. I learned a long time ago. Like I just
Ignore all this shit.
I don't answer spam. I don't answer spam text. I don't do any of it, dude. Ever.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
don't do it.
Wednesday,
you know?
a few days ago, he was like, my computer's weird. And I sat down and I need to go over there again. And it's like all these notifications of like antivirus, like he's done something where he's installed something that's taking over his browser and
Yeah.
saying all this antivirus shit, click here. And it's like, it's a Mac, dude. You know?
Totally.
Like, fuck me. So this hit at the right time for me. I'm very into punching scammers in the head.
Totally, man. I think
My poor brother Jim keeps getting
Really?
this stuff. I'm like, he just doesn't. He's never, you know. He just his first computer he got like maybe like 4 years ago or something, you know. So like he just doesn't apparently have like the savvy to realize like, no, don't click on that thing, dude. That's not real. You know, like that kind of a thing. Like he just doesn't, you know, have a good sense for it at all. So like shit keeps happening. He's never been like
taken, but
taken,
yeah, it's not,
you know, cleaners or anything, but like, you know, like he's ended up like with a subscription to like a book club or something that like he can't like get rid of for whatever reason, and it's like stupid shit like that.
Dude,
Like,
wouldn't it be funny if like Columbia House was now like scamming people online?
scammers.
I've scammed you out of a penny online.
That reminds me, actually, I hadn't thought about it, but in Port-au-Prince, when we were setting up our base there, we had internet, obviously, and really funny shit happened. Like, this is a bit of a massive cul-de-sac, but just like a couple of things about it is like, when we moved in, the earthquake knocked over the back wall to the property. I'm not sure if we've ever talked about this on the show, but when we were rebuilding the wall, the neighbors were like, can you leave a couple of bricks out of the wall and we'll sell you beer through the wall? And we're like, yes.
Okay.
And so we had this thing called the hole in the wall, and like there was a little bell that you rang and you could go up to the hole in the wall and get beer. Because like if you were outside, you work all day, you know, in the heat and you just want a beer. But like one of the first things we did first week we were there was we walked down the street with a case of beer to have a beer at the end of the day, because there were 30 of us and each one of us had a fucking beer. But you walk down the street with a case of beer and like that's like a week's salary for people. And so these people are coming off of a traumatic experience and they're seeing these fucking white bread pieces of shit walk by with a case of beer. And they're like, fuck you, guy, you know, I haven't eaten today. And so like the hole in the wall solved that problem of like, you know, we could
sort of clandestinely
have a beer, but not
yeah.
have it in the face of people. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. You get what I'm saying. And so, like, over the course of the next year, we put this fucking family's kids through school with the amount of beer we bought. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
And so, like, it was great for them. It was great for us, whatever. And so there's like an older son who was like loving the fucking hole in the wall. And he came up to me one day and he's like, hey, you guys got Wi-Fi over here, huh? And we're like, yeah. He's like, can I have the password? And I was like, why do you want the password besides the obvious? He's like, I want to start an internet cafe. And it was like, no, you know, like, no, you can't have the password to our Wi-Fi, and no, you can't start an internet cafe on our fucking internet, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so, like, that's just like a little bit of backstory. But we had all these like local kids that would come and work with us, and we were mentoring them, and like, you know, whatever.
Sure.
And like, it was the first time they had the internet, and so they would, you know, we would let them use the internet to do what they wanted to do. And being young men, you can imagine what they wanted to do with the internet. Sure. And like, they had no fucking idea about anything. And so they would see these ads on the side of Facebook, or it was like, local girls want to meet you. Click here. And they would be like, click, 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 click. And like, they could nuke a computer in like 5 minutes, dude. Like the amount of times that like one of the laptops just got fucking destroyed with malware because they were like, local girls want to chat. You know, it was so funny, dude.
Wow.
It was the same idea. It's like they just weren't savvy. They had no idea.
Right. It's funny. I don't think about this a whole lot because I don't ever have problems with this, and you guys don't, and none of the other people that
we're nerdier kind of people too.
Yeah, I mean, none of the other people I know really have problems like this, so I don't really think about it a whole lot. But I guess it does go on a lot, you know. I mean, case in point, you both have direct contact with it through, you know, family members. So I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like this is the kind of thing my brother would fall victim to.
Maybe he has. He just hasn't told you. You ask him, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah."
He's just super like, you know, not really with it on like computer. I mean, he kind of is actually. Now that I think about it, he knows how to use.
But it's not people being stupid. It's just they're not savvy on computers. We've spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
100%.
Develop a sense for like what's real and what's bullshit just by, you know, using stuff for a while. And, you know, if you don't know, like, you know, like you go to that website where like the Windows is having a problem pops up on your screen. And like, you're like, oh God, what's going on? You click on it and you're like, you know, exactly.
The first time you're like, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh, what did I do?
oh no. Oh no.
But the beauty of it too is like the cleverness with which these phishing scammers do their thing is like often when something is installed on the computer because you clicked on the wrong thing, it doesn't take effect until you turn the computer off and reboot it. And most people's panic is just to shut the thing off. So like they're inevitably like setting in motion the problem by freaking out about it too. Like there's a lot of really crazy, clever shit here. And I don't know. It's just, I love the comic bookification of these villains in this one. Like it's just chef's kiss because, you know, scammers are so punchable and they made it into like that second dude with the stapler had the fucking Riddler style goat suit. It was just like this guy needs to get his ass kicked.
Yeah,
know?
He did.
So Wolf of Wall Street, dude. I love the fact.
Totally. But like a sort of like a C+ level Wolf of Wall Street guy. You know what I mean? Like he was kind of from the dungeon, man. But yeah, he definitely had it coming to him. That was what was cool was that we keep getting more levels of scumbag scammers that had it coming to him. You know what I mean? Culminating with Josh Hutcherson, who I really like, man. He you know, he's a younger actor, but he's really good, man, and he's really starting to show some cool range in some of the projects that he's doing. And I think this one is one of them, man. You know, he plays like a really loathable, you really want to punch him hard, scuzzy little shitbag, you know, with a lot of money. And it's very gratifying when he gets his comeuppance, you know.
No doubt.
So all of those people getting their comeuppance was great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like that extra secret sauce of the fuck you-ness of the two call centers. You know, the first one being like, fuck you, boomer, or whatever. Like the call center guys on the phone is like, I'm not hanging up the phone. And then like one punch later, they're all like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's how anybody would be, you know? Like if somebody came into the room and Jason Statham's, I'd just be like, yep. And I'm all set with that. Like, I don't want to fucking fight Jason Statham either, you know? But
yeah.
I don't know. Just, I love how tough everybody was. And it was the Mike Tyson thing. Everyone's got to play until they're punched in the face. Like, it was just, goddamn, it was beautiful.
It was. And there was also like, and you'll definitely appreciate this, Chad, and probably you, Ben, too, Ben, is there was multiple levels of we're so SWAT in this movie, dude. Like everybody was so fucking SWAT in this movie, dude. Even, you know, we get the FBI SWAT team, actual FBI SWAT team. We got the Deltas and the SEAL Team 6
the Delta
guys.
fake SWAT teams.
Oh my God, dude. There was so much of that, dude. It was great. I loved it.
And it escalates. Like I think you mentioned earlier, it's just like
Secret Service SWAT. I mean, shit, dude. We had SWAT coming out.
It's so tropey to build on it and like start with like a couple of security guards in the like they were like Paul Blart Mall Cop in front of the office building. They get their asses kicked,
and then it
really escalates all the way up to the Secret Service or whatever. And at the end, you know, like it's and randomly a bunch of weird South African thugs or whatever the fuck. Who that was fucking great. Dude,
those guys. Stupidest. Like what the fuck?
I loved them though, dude.
I did too. I loved them too. I was like, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, Ulysses Claw is in this movie. Like he acted and sounded just like Andy Serkis in the first Black Panther movie, and I was like, okay. But then I was like,
he did, yeah.
Right? And then I was like, why are these guys in this? Like, where do they fit in this whole picture of
this random muscle?
There were some facial hair decisions.
There were a couple of facial hair decisions made. We should actually probably steak and mustaches asterisks out to that at some stage.
I mean,
I think weren't they Derek and the Dominoes, Hutcherson's muscle buddies or some shit? I don't know, man. God damn, they're funny.
I don't remember who they were, and I actually watched this twice. It was short enough that I was able to give it a couple of watches.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really get where the South African badass guy came in and his little thuggies, but you know, it was like whatever, more meat for the grinder, man. And this is a meat. It's just a meat grinder movie, just like John Wick. So, John Wick, excuse me. So, it was like whatever.
Shout out to that dude because he's not a South African dude. He's just an American guy because he really fucking sold the caricature of, you know, I can't remember what's the name of the band that Yolandi and the fucking dude with the tattoos of dicks all over his face or whatever.
Shit.
you know what I'm talking about.
It's a Dutch word.
Zeph.
No,
Die Antwoord.
That's it.
It was chappy. It was like the Die Antwoord dudes.
D Antwoord.
D Antwoord. It was kind of the D Antwoord guys meets Ulysses from whatever fucking Marvel movie that was.
Yeah. It kind of was that. Yeah. I get down with that.
I loved him. I fucking love that guy.
I was half expecting.
That's it. That's it, dude.
Fucking help Clay take everybody
the
out.
Guy is like, he's just like fucking brew, you know, like he keeps fucking talking about all this shit, and then he's just like, I killed one, you know, and he has a fucking fake leg, and then that comes into play later where Statham sees it, just like kicks it out and fucking stabs him in the neck. Like, oh my god, dude, it was just fuck me. This is a fun movie and so dumb. I love that the guy kept on ticking, man. Like he got shot in the fucking face, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna go back in the house. That was great, man. I don't know. Like, I mean, we're coming off of the actual attempted assassination of a former president, you know. Totally. So like, there's something in this space. You know, we were recently talking about Civil War, the Garland flick, and then this, and like the escalation to the president thing here is interesting and silly and dumb. But like the ease with which he gets onto this compound and just the sheer number of FBI and Secret Service people that get their shit pushed in is just hilarious, man.
It is
like,
so
there
good.
is no fucking universe where half of this shit happens. They're like, he's outside, you know, and he's just like doop-a-doop-a-doop, drinking champagne and shit.
Dude,
like,
I loved how he infiltrated the whole compound, dude, underneath the van. It was great with the skateboard. It was perfect. It was so great.
I mean, okay, fine, skateboard, but like when he's walking around the cocktail party and you're telling me it's like, it was kind of like he's on the lawn and then like 500 people go to the lawn and there's no one else anywhere else on the property. And he's like, he's back inside, and 500 people go inside. It's like, dude, there would be so many people all over that fucking place.
They would, yeah. And it definitely had like a farcical quality to it. You know what I mean? It was almost like a Three's Company, Benny Hill kind of moment there at the end. You know what I mean?
It's the running through the hallway kind of shtick.
He was like, wait, he's over there now. You know?
Yeah, Benny Hill, exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely goofy, man. But like, you know, again, like the other element. I mean, I didn't exactly phrase it like this. Is that, you know, there's nothing like a good ultimate agent movie. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like a James Bond, dude. And this guy is definitely an ultimate agent. You know what I mean? And like he ultimately thwarts everybody to get into that compound, dude, with the little van trick, and then he throws on the Secret Service We're So SWAT uniform and like all that stuff. I just loved it, man. I love that stuff. I love a good ultimate agent.
Yeah, he was ultimate.
On that subject, we did watch the latest Guy Ritchie movie with Henry Cavill. I forget what the hell it's called. Like the
Gentleman?
Yeah. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly
Whoa,
Warfare.
what?
And he
Hold on
wrote
a second,
the screenplay.
Man. I never even heard of this. Ministry.
But it's basically based on a true story, and the guy they based it on was apparently the template.
Really?
James Bond.
Yeah, right on.
Right, it was like the inspiration. I think that was who the character was based on. It was very good. I'd throw that right in there. It's excellent.
Wow, dude.
The whole time Snaps and I were watching it, we were thinking like, this is like what I wanted Inglourious Basterds to be.
Okay.
You know?
Wow.
Sure.
It's totally like a Nazi fighting movie, but it's like sprawling. It's less like a play. It's more like lots of different locations and lots of
cool.
Lots of Nazi ass kicking going on.
This came out in April. Yeah,
and just like a great cast and just really well done.
I'm totally down, dude.
Great action.
I've always been a fan of Ritchie. Like he's kind of like the Cockney action Wes Anderson. Like he's just got a certain vibe to him. Like obviously he's not, but
I don't mean to completely just throw the fucking podcast into
no, I mean it's of a piece, it's how Statham got his fucking break. It's like it's an adjacent genre, I think.
Well, there's DNA of Guy Ritchie in here with Statham.
Sure.
I want to watch this like immediately.
Are you wanking?
I am a little bit.
Are you? Gentleman was 2019.
You wanker. You fat
You
little
filthy
wanker.
slut. How dare you?
Why don't you just keep eating pints of ice cream? Why don't you just keep doing that, huh?
Holy shit. This is the British porn thing is like just, it's got a freaking heartbeat of its own.
Mind of its own.
Yeah.
That was that was my bad, Jason Statham, because
It was okay. It was really okay.
Nick Kroll did a comedy special, and he was talking about how like when he looks at himself in the mirror, and like the voice in his head that narrates all of his bad feelings about himself is Jason Statham.
I like that.
He's got a great voice. He's got one of the best voices, man.
You chubby little wanker.
That's good.
I bet you're real proud of yourself for eating all that
You
ice cream.
sound like
last
him
night.
and somebody else, and I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, that's good. It's good, dude.
It's totally ad lib.
No, it's good.
I like it.
I have not practiced that at all.
Okay, so all right, I really want to watch this Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare movie like immediately. Let's get back on track so we can
Terrific.
end this so I can go
finish
watch
this.
that. All right, so so bits and bobs and bits?
Minnie Driver, dude, as the CIA director. I love seeing some Minnie Driver action.
Ding!
Yeah.
I love her, and I swear I have not that I've
I love her
actively
too.
I haven't seen her in anything.
in anything since Good Will Hunting. I love her.
I've seen her since.
She's been in a million things that are just outside my wheelhouse. I had a look.
Interesting.
I love her. She's great.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else she was? Sorry, I kind of got stuck on her for a second. You know what she was really great in? Gross Point Blank.
Man.
With Cusack. That
yeah.
is a great movie.
Yep.
Talk about a hyper violent, crazy movie. That's a good one.
I need to revisit that one. But yep.
Mm-hmm.
Claire Huxtable, dude. It was great to see Claire Huxtable.
And she looked fantastic, and she looks so good, man. I was like, I can't believe this woman looks this
She
good.
did look great.
Being as old as she is. I mean, she didn't even look that old. You know what I mean? And Christ, she was Claire Huxtable when I was a kid in the 80s, bro. Like, that was just crazy, man.
No doubt, dude.
Who else is in this that's of note?
I mean, you mentioned Irons, dude. I just,
I love that
I
guy.
love him.
He
He's so
does
great.
just about anything, man. Like I loved seeing him.
Alan Rickman's
Yeah,
brother.
I loved seeing him show up as exactly, man. And I loved seeing him show up as Alfred in those couple of Justice
Yeah.
League movies.
Yeah.
And Veidt in the Watchmen series, dude. I really liked him in that one too.
Wait, what?
He was Adrian Veidt, who was stuck on fucking Mars or whatever. When we watched The Watchmen, remember he was like had all these clones that were there, and he was trying to catapult himself out of the place. That
yes,
it's been a long time since you watched that.
I do.
But he was great in that.
Wow, you're right. Yeah, he is.
He's just great.
He
was great here too, and like he was just like, I like that he was kind of businessman feeble a little bit. Like he was like the power broker that like whimpers when his fingers get broken, like not to saying I would do any different, but like he's like, I agree with you, and he just slaps his fingers and he's like, oh, and fucking falls down in the door frame at the end, like he's not badass like a group like he was in Die Hard with a Vengeance, for example.
I think what I really like about Jeremy Irons is that he's unapologetic and he just looks like he's having fun with everything that he's doing. You know what I mean? Like he takes these roles and he just doesn't care, and he looks like he's having a ball while he's doing it. And I think that that's fucking great. So that's it.
Yep, totally agree, man.
Who else? There's no. We kind of.
So that's kind of casty bobs for me. Like I don't know. Everyone else is fine. You didn't like what's her name, and
no, I gotta stick on that for a second. I feel like she wrote her own dialogue. It was so bad. Like it didn't fit with the rest of what was going on in the movie. It did not fit with the rest of the dialogue in the movie. It's weird because I enjoyed her in The Umbrella Academy, as weird and sort of dumb as that show is. And in this, I really didn't care for it at all. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like the whole thing she had going on. It felt contrived, and it was bothersome, man, because it was such a simple, let's have fun making a crazy action movie where we blow a lot of shit up, So, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Wasn't a home run. Don't really, have much else to say.
I mean, no impression was left on me, but I've gathered from research that this was like one of her performance was one of the hang-ups people seem to have.
Oh, okay, so it's not just me.
That and the fact that she's wearing a Harvard T-shirt through like pretty much the entire thing. I don't know. People were like hung up on like God, does she shower? Like she's wearing the same fucking Harvard shirt for like 5 days or something.
Yeah, it was she had this kind of like Foxy Brown kind of Pam Grier thing going that she was going for, but it was kind of like, you're not Pam Grier or Foxy Brown, and she wasn't that clever. And I said to Chad, when, I don't know if you heard it or not, I felt like she wrote her own dialogue. So yeah, I don't know. Not down. I liked her partner. I liked him a lot.
He was all right. Like the two of them, the FBI buddy cop shit was the weakest link here, but like I didn't really give a shit.
Nor I.
It was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't the focus. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's actually like, I don't know, we can dwell on it if we want to, but like, I think the thing for me is less about the actors and more like, it's kind of just like a nothing burger of a couple of characters, like they are there in the beginning because of the suicide. So they're like the local, well, it's her mom and she's FBI. There wouldn't be FBI there otherwise. So it's like a local thing. And then it escalates and the case gets so big that, the chief needs to call the fucking captain who's like and then all of a sudden the head of the FBI is there and they're in, they're out over their skis and okay, fine. But they're also like figuring all the shit out like buddy cop movies do. And no one else is figuring out what they've got going on. And then it like culminates with her deciding not to fucking shoot him at the end. Like it's just, I don't know. It's such a weird thread. see the point of the morality thread at the end where it's like, and she chose justice over the law, you know?
Well,
It's
look,
like, okay, whatever.
here's my take on it. They could have removed those two characters, and the rest of the movie would have just been exactly the same. There's really no reason to
Yeah.
have them in there. You know what I mean? Like if you, even from like
Other than that final weird justification, the final decision to
but
shoot
not,
or
but not
shoot
even
bullshit.
because even if you did, like, okay, so I get it, it's her mom, but the justification for him going on the rampage, as he says himself, is it's personal. They killed my friend. You know what I mean? Like it was never about her or her mom. So like then you got to start asking yourself, why is she even in the movie, and why is the other guy in there too? Like it didn't really. It made less sense as I went through the story.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it was kind of the weakest link. Like, I don't give a shit. It makes a certain amount of sense that it was there, but like, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
Or to your point, you mentioned Hutcherson before, who I was like, where the fuck do I know that kid from? And he was one of the leads in the Hunger Games
Yes.
fucking sextilogy or however many stupid ass movies. But he was, I don't know, he was just, I just loved how much of a slimy tech bro he was here. Dude. He was equally
a good, sleazy little tech
punchable.
bro. He did a really good job.
He kind of had a little bit of the parody of the tech bro stuff, you know, the Silicon Valley show style parody of it. You know?
Yeah, and he did a really good job of making you hate him, and like that was his job. Like I couldn't stand him. I was like, ugh, so irritating, man. You know,
I fucking hated him. Yep.
He was very
I
hateable.
could not wait to see him get it.
great. Yeah, you couldn't wait to see him get it. So by that estimation, great job, Josh.
Other bits and bobs, dude.
I mean, we talked about a lot of it. I would have gone with like the ratchet strap truck death. Like that was amazing.
Oh, dude.
That was great.
I will give that ratchet strap. I've never seen anybody use a ratchet strap, and I mean for a couple of blokes like us that have done a lot of manual labor, it's like everybody here knows what a ratchet strap is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that was very satisfying, dude. Especially for that D-bag.
Only Jason Statham, as an expert in the art of manliness, would have a ratchet strap that wasn't stuck and took 5 minutes to get open, like every other ratchet strap on the face of the earth. The one functioning ratchet strap on planet Earth was the one Jason Statham has.
You know what? I tell you, you know what would have been funny in this movie? This might have worked too. Is if he had spent like a couple of minutes fiddle fucking with the strap like everybody does. I mean, would that not have been great, dude?
I would have fucking cracked up if I had seen that. It was just like a close-up of his hands trying to open the fucking thing.
You just stay right there. Hold on. Come on, you son of a bitch. Come on.
Come on. Feed it through the middle.
Like, honestly, dude, my version of this movie is not Claire Huxtable getting killed. My version of this movie is me going on a rampage because my ratchet strap is fucked up. Like, that's my version of this movie.
Just going full nuclear.
Just going full fucking Grand Theft Auto rampage because of that. But it's like my tubby ass, like being like, fuck you, you know, like starting a rampage that ends 4 minutes later because I'm like wheezing.
That's also funny, yeah.
My only regret about that scene is that sweet old beat up 150.
That was a sacrifice
truck,
to make.
That got sacrificed.
It was.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's sad.
It made me sad, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worthy, but in the sense of vehicles, it would have been great if he had used the land doucher to drive the kid off the bridge and kept the old pickup. You know?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will say I know there's no real mustaches per se in this movie. Certainly nothing to really warrant his whole steak and mustaches section. However,
that beardy thing with the African guy is pretty great.
But what I was going to just comment on was that I really liked Statham's beard. Chatham. I was oh my God. Statham's beard, I liked his beard because it had a really nice, healthy chuff to it, man. Like it was, it was tight, it was thick,
Sure.
It was very
chuffy, man. It was full. It was not. It just looks like he grew it and didn't like like
No,
escape it at all.
none,
You know, it's
no
just like
escaping
that's
at
just
all.
like it's like almost like up below
Yeah,
his
yeah,
eyeballs.
yeah.
You know,
Below his eye, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to the Chuff.
If we're gonna mustache corner it, then mustache corner, steak and mustache it. We got to. I mean, Lazarus had that. It's like Wolverine mixed with Johnny Ringo kind of facial hair thing going on.
Let me get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cartoonishly
I
stupid
wanted to
looking.
get a look at that.
He kind of like had some. I don't think he even had gold teeth, but he seemed like he had a bunch of gold teeth. You know,
He did seem like he had a grill.
That would be that would fall. That would be in keeping with the character. So
Right.
Yeah, there's definitely a grill or two in his drawer. Dude, I used to live down the street from this place in San Francisco called Mr. Bling Bling that only sold grills.
You
and it's
told us
still one of my
about that.
favorite
Yes,
shops in the
dude,
fucking
totally.
world. It was so great.
Wow. That is. Do you have pictures?
Maybe. I'll see if I can dig something up. It was right near Japantown in San Francisco. It was like a real rough fucking neighborhood. It's a great
Cannot
neighborhood.
find any pictures of this guy from this movie with that.
Mr. Bling Bling, jeweler, San Francisco, California.
There you go.
Is it still there? I love it.
Oh my God! Wow, look at this place.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I've ejected you into a sweet spot.
What did you say this guy looked like, Ben? Kind of a combination between Wolverine and what?
Johnny Ringo.
Ringo.
His,
Johnny Ringo.
He doesn't look like that,
Yes.
but his facial hair is.
his
those two
stash
things.
is definitely Ringo.
He's got the
It's tight,
stash,
too.
like, soul patch sort of combo. Of
He has
Johnny Ringo.
literal
He's got the-
pork chop sideburns, dude. Like that. They like I'm looking at a clip from the movie and it's his side profile shot, and it literally looks like a pork chop on the side of his face.
It does. It does. It looks like somebody strapped 2 pork chops to the side of his head.
So good. You gotta love that, folks. And that's the kind of entertainment you get only right here on the EBD.
Steak and mustaches.
That's why.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's technically not a stash, but it's a worthy. It's got to have
It's a
little
worthy
moment
shout
for
out
it.
for sure. All right. What else? Bits and bobs, or is that it?
I think that's all the bits and bobs I got that come to mind. I kind of want to watch it again now, just to kind of bask in the action again,
bathe.
because that's the most bit-worthy
Stupid.
stuff. Is all the random actiony shit.
Well, this is very, very gratifying.
Nuggets? You got any nugs?
I don't have any nuggets. There were not a lot of nuggets about this, and I was kind of glad. 'Cause I was
Yeah,
kinda
which is
burned
kind of
out on
nice.
Nuggets.
There's a couple of things that are, I think, nugget worthy, but I'm interested to be whether it should be shot down or not. One of which was the notes played on the piano are the same notes that Venkman plays in the first Ghostbusters
Really?
movie, which is like
That
this
is
is such
weird.
a weird. I mean, that is kind of a weird thing because he just hits the same key up high like 3 times, I think. So I don't fucking know. And then another one that was similar was the goat suit dude evidently says a bunch of lines from a bunch of different movies, including when he says, "I was just thrown through a plate glass window," was a quote from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I
Axel
remember
Foley says
that.
that. So like
That
equally
is
kind of weird. So there's just kind of like a couple of weird shout outs in the movie, I guess. Maybe it's just a writer kind of nerding out or something.
Probably.
But
Considering his pedigree of writing the remake for Point Break and the remake for Total Recall.
that's what I mean. Like, so I don't know. They're kind of nugget worthy anecdotes, but they're kind of weird too.
It's
So
kinda weird.
yeah, there you go.
All right. Deaths.
Word.
Hang on while I pretend to look. I'm just pretending to
Yeah,
look
deaths.
around for my death sheet like I have an actual piece of paper that I write it on.
Your death note.
So we only had one. Just you had a delightfully dead death.
I mean, Benny did just eject for Mr. Bling Bling. Like, I think that's
All right. I mean, I did an ejection
Sure.
as well, so I could put one down also, I suppose.
I like the idea of there being a Mr.
I
Bling
do
Bling
like that
death.
too, actually. I like the name Mr. Bling Bling Death. It is good.
It's so good.
Well, if we see anybody with terrible bling in a movie, henceforth, we can call it a Mr. Bling Bling Death.
Yeah, we know what to call them.
All right.
Mr. Bling Bling.
So we all had one. It's a CBK.
recommendations. I mean, I think it goes without saying that if you haven't seen this one, it's well worth a watch.
Oh,
It is
100%.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Go into it understanding that it is silly.
Yeah, if you're
have
going
fun.
down for a fun action movie with some cool sort of John Wickian style lore, secret organization, it's this, and you like an ultimate agent, like doing some ultimate shit, go see it. This is great. I loved it.
Shakespeare, this is not, although there is a to be or not to be
Oh,
true.
Shit.
pun in this movie.
Oh, shit. I missed the
with
B
that being
pun on
said,
that.
Just that being said, go ahead and watch it because it's stupid fun. It's good. Great action. And well filmed.
Yeah,
action.
well filmed action. That's something we didn't really talk about a whole lot, but yeah.
And maybe that's the thing here is like, I love that movie making has gotten to the point where you can make a movie of this quality for 40 odd million bucks, like, which is a lot of money, obviously, but in movie budget space, it's not. And like, it's a lot of fun, dude. They didn't expect it to win. It was supposed to go straight to streaming, and then it blew up. So I just love that it is kind of a viral hit of a movie.
And I was also, when I was reading about it, like they were saying that, like Roadshow in Australia did not even want to distribute this movie because they thought it was going to be just a total bomb. And then apparently like the movie that everybody was betting on to be a massive hit completely bombed, and this thing just completely blew up.
Yeah, Ferrari.
Yeah, that was it. Ferrari, totally.
With Adam Driver. I watched it. Like, it's not this. It's an interesting flick, but like there was no fucking world where Ferrari was going to be a blockbuster, dude. It's like a moody, weird ass Italian fucking 50s movie. Like there was no world where that was going to do well.
Yeah, Slave 2. What are we doing next week?
Next week, I think we should do, it's a 2 for Benny's not around. I think we should do the opposite of this movie, Civil War, The New Garland.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would be interesting to just juxtapose it against this, because this is ridiculous and that is trying to be kind of like a pseudo documentary of also crazy shit. It's like the dark side of presidential kind of style of political movies.
Yeah, let's do that.
Worth checking out.
Sounds good. So there you have it, folks. Next week we're going to tackle the new Alex Garland film, Civil War. So tune in for that. Thanks for joining us for Beekeeper, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. If you'd like to check out the show notes for this episode, you can do so in your podcast app of choice or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/265. Additionally, we would like to thank everybody that supported us these many years. We're very, very grateful for that. And for anybody new that is wondering how they can help us out, you can do so directly on Patreon. You can write us a nice review, and you can also tell people to check out the show. All those things work great, and we sure do appreciate it. So, folks, if you want to check us out on social media, Instagram is where we lurk. We use the handle @EBD Podcast, so come join in on the conversation. Thanks for joining us for the Beekeeper, and we'll see you next week for Civil War. So long for now, folks.
Everybody dies.
Beady, beady, beady. Stop into it.